story about the kerosene heater, I was thinking, oh, shit, you guys going to have a story about like a great white story, burning a club down?
Yeah, that was in Rhode Island, where I'm from. And I know some people that were there.
So, hey everybody, I am the Kevin McLaughlin, and this is the Riffs and
Rhythms Podcast. I am the Paul Robertson.
He sure is.
That's all right.
Welcome to this week's episode.
So we're going to pick up back where we left off here, but before we do, the glasses are a little empty here, but you know what, sir? You go ahead and pour your bottle of Stolock here. I'm going to pour a little bit of, I'm wearing some of their swag tonight here, some Knox and Dunn here.
Tell me about that, because that is a very attractive looking bottle you got there.
That's right. Hold on. Oh, gotta pop that cork.
Delicious.
Yes, so would you like to...
What is that? What is it?
So this is rum. This is Florida rum. And again, the reason why we're having a little bit of Knox and Dunn tonight, this is Florida rum, straight barrel. This is 86 proof rum. They have signed up to be our title sponsor, our main sponsor of the Riffs and Rhythms podcast.
That is awesome. So it's definite?
Well, I haven't seen the money yet, but
all right,
there's at least a verbal commitment.
It's nearly definite. So that means it'll be the Knox and Dunn Riffs and Rhythms Music Festival.
That is correct there. So over the weekend there, drinking rum at the Key West Rum Festival, a few weeks ago there, hanging out with our good friend Chris from Knox and Dunn here. He's a local Jupiter resident here. I hang out with him a lot also. We get into a lot of trouble. And he had committed, and it's something he's always been into music. He's always wanted to tie his brand into music, and I think this opportunity finally is one of those things that he can go ahead and kind of partner up with music and his brand and kind of grow and so forth.
So I'm looking at this label, and it's Knox and Dunn Florida rum, and you are promoting straight barrel rum in Key West.
Well, there was a whole lot more of other stuff there in Key West too.
I bet. This is cool.
Yep. So
43% alcohol by volume.
That's right.
Which translates to
86.
86 proof.
So
good stuff.
Yep. So anyway, so more to come about our festival there, Riffs and Rhythms Fest, coming up November 23rd, 2 to 11 p.m. We've got, I don't remember how many bands now we have.
I've just off the top of my head, we got Mike Farrow. We got the Dean Machine. We've got the Lefty Hathaway Band.
Mm-hmm.
We've got, of course, the Kevin McLaughlin Band. We've got
A Mauve.
A Moment of Violence, yes.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Red Calling.
All the way from Tampa.
We have the Bryce Allyn Band. We have an unconfirmed sighting of Mr. Brad Brock.
Yep.
And that's pretty much Jason. Oh, Jason. Oh,
it's right. Ooh.
How could we forget?
Whoops.
Jason Montero.
That's right. Yeah, sorry, Jason. Yes.
He's going to be showing up with his super awesome hairstyle and just kicking it right in half. Yeah, Jason Montero. I can't wait. I never get to see Jason play with him.
Yeah. Well, I guess what's going to be really unique here is Jason is going to perform as well as our guest that we've got back on the podcast here, Dean Loeb's here. So, Dean, how are you... So you doing a double bill here? So you're going to get paid twice? Is that how it is? Or can we get a break a little discount on a BOGO?
Yeah, right.
Hey, why not? I've done it.
So you're going to be backing Jason.
On drums, yes.
On drums. And then you're also going to be performing your own stuff, too.
The Dean Machine, yes.
Yeah.
I think you're going to be our only twofer musician.
Yeah, I'm a twofer.
That's right.
That's good.
That's right, man. So we're going to have other people trying to, do the same thing, music.
You know what? There is a cool aspect to the way that we're doing the tickets on this thing that I want to share with everybody because I thought of it, so therefore it's awesome. But now I totally lost my train of thought. No, what we're doing is we're doing promo codes on the tickets, right? It's available on Eventbrite. The tickets go on sale on September 1st.
Okay. And
each band has its own promo code. Which I haven't done a Dean Machine promo code yet. But if anyone utilizes the promo code of your band, they get $1 off, and then that dollar goes to the band.
That's awesome.
So,
Appreciate it.
yeah, so
Very much appreciated.
yeah, so utilize your insanely effective marketing
and
skills
Will do.
and beg, borrow,
and
steal.
make
people
sure
come.
people utilize your promo code so you get that money.
Sounds good.
Yep. So we got more to come. We'll be talking about how the ticketing drop and certain dates will hit there, right? Because I think we've got
Yes.
like a blitz.
There's going to be a blitz. Yeah, for the first 24 hours, they're going to be stupid cheap. And then they're going to go up.
Hopefully,
a
not
little bit,
everybody
and then
sell.
up a little
Hopefully,
bit more.
don't sell out in the first 24 hours because of them. We may have to do some OnlyFans stuff.
You know, if the fire marshal isn't there, we'll be able to fit thousands of people.
Yeah. So how many people? Yeah, it's like a couple hundred people can fit in that area, right?
No, I would say probably 2,000 people could fit
Oh,
in that area.
okay.
So there'll be plenty of room for everybody.
Awesome.
So all there to see Dean Lopes, the Dean Machine.
Oh, yeah. Sounds good.
So, Dean, how have you been? It's been a week since we've seen you. What's going on?
Yes, it's excellent.
You look
yeah.
well rested, actually.
Thank you. I feel well rested.
Rock on. Rock on.
Yeah, I found out about this actually through Jason. He called me and said, "Hey, I have this great original gig," and I was like, "Wow, an original gig here in our area?" I said, "That's very cool." And then I hung up and said, "Yeah, I'm all in on it." And then I said, "Wait
a minute, motherfucker."
I said, "I've got some originals. Let's see if I can give Kevin a call."
You know what I find a little ironic, though, is that 3/4 of your Memphis Blues Band trip is in this festival, actually, including yourself.
Yeah.
Well, when you're marketing, the first people that you reach out to are your friends
Yeah,
and your
exactly.
colleagues.
Exactly.
You're missing somebody, so I'm not sure if he's got music, but I'm not going to
Yeah,
say.
Lefty and
No,
Lefty's
Lefty's
playing?
Lefty's
yeah,
playing.
Lefty's
yeah.
awesome.
All-
What a
okay,
great,
so-
what a great
We
keyboardist.
we got to get our bass player involved in it.
Yeah,
somehow.
Willie White Shoes.
Willie White Shoe Suarez. Oh, actually, you know what is blocking us from Willie is we still have his T-shirt that he bought in Memphis, and it's still at my house. Willie, wherever you are, let me know. I'll bring you your T-shirt.
No, you hold on to it because he hasn't paid me for it yet.
Really? Well, you want me to give his T-shirt to you?
He said, hey, yeah, I'm giving him the pay until you get your T-shirt.
Oh, that's
paid.
what's
Yeah,
blocking Willie
that's
from
it. There you
all
go.
of this stuff.
How many months ago was that?
That was 7 months ago.
February.
January.
right?
January.
Oh,
January,
The end
yeah.
of January.
Oh my god.
7 months ago.
It was cold.
It was
It
cold.
was frigid up there.
Oh my, yes.
Like crunchy.
Crunchy.
Yeah, it was so cold that when you stepped on the snow, it held you for a second, and then went.
Yep.
But
I
yeah.
really wanted to go to the Memphis drum shop too. They have a great drum shop, and with everything going on,
know.
you just couldn't get around. I mean,
Yeah, right. Yeah.
literally just had to walk.
That town
down
was
the
shut
street.
down, really.
Yeah,
right?
it was. Yeah, you couldn't get around anywhere.
So.
You had to drive in the paths that were, where everybody else went.
We spent a ton of our budget on Ubers because I didn't even think the car was going to work in 6 degree
Yeah,
weather.
and they were like, "Oh, you want to go downtown? Well, that's going to be, triple the price because it's crazy.
Yeah, it's because it's crazy cold. yeah.
Crazy nut out there. Snow, no lines in the road.
I'm thinking I'll pay extra because, triple on the Uber is cheaper than a new engine because the
Yeah.
oil is made of gel now.
And I'm driving down this one thing, and they're like, "Dean, you're on the wrong side of the road." I'm like, "I don't know, just following the path,
Right?
It's like, oh, okay.
You tell where the road is when everything's white.
Yeah, you can't. It was like, what lines? So thank you for that. They straightened me out.
Well, we had a bomb ass house. We have to actually thank Tracy there.
Oh.
That was an awesome house there. Pool table.
Yeah, accommodations were
Right.
excellent.
I got to hang out in the Love Shack up in the third floor
Yeah.
with Lefty. And
Yeah, from what I understood, they were sharing socks.
Oh, well.
Whatever that means, kids, let me know.
I love the pile of stuff that everybody left behind. It's like, all right, there's a lost and found.
Yeah, we had a lost and found at the end.
Got an AirPod. Somebody lost an AirPod, a sock, a hanger, or whatever.
Well, the owners of the Airbnb knew we were musicians, so they didn't want to keep our stuff. They wanted to send it back to us.
Yeah, like, ugh, gross.
God only knows where our stuff's been. 'Cause we don't.
So Dean, it's great to have you back on the podcast here. So you do a little bit more than just music as well too. So you've got your own business too, right?
Yeah, I started Audiovisual Guy Inc. Here in Florida. Some musician friends in Los Angeles, where I lived prior to this. I was in a band with these two guys, and we were playing music every Friday night. And after a while, you don't know what people do. And so I said, hey, what do you do for a living? And he said, well, I work on stereos. And I'm like, wow, that's a great job. And I turned to Kenny, the bass player. What do you do? He says, I do the same thing as Rick. I'm like, wait a minute, 2 people, and this is the job that you do? You go work on stereo equipment? I said, I didn't even know that was a job. Yeah, they're audio visual tech. And I knew of, like sound techs, PAs and stuff. But I didn't know, the whole thing about, home theaters and stuff and all that was big out there. And I said, wow, how can I get that job? Just happened, it was an ad in the paper for a company that they had both worked for. So I had a little bit of an in. I thought I knew a lot from, being a musician, but at least it got me in because I knew, a little bit. But I didn't hardly know anything. And you'd go into these, huge mansions and everybody's got home theaters. It's like, oh my God. So after some years of that, so we go in this one house, new company, and we're carrying this big giant movie screen, like 12 feet long, big box like this. Guys at one, and like from here to Tracy, right? Huge. So we're going down this hallway, this guy's house. The hallway is just got to be 50 feet long. And we're going down, and the guy, is carrying the front end. He goes, stay in the middle of the hallway. And I'm like, what the hell is he saying? And I'm like, yeah, well, I kind of planned on to it. He goes, yeah, don't veer off because these paintings are on the wall lining this hallway. And he goes, these are very expensive paintings. And I just joked. I said, well, I don't really know much about art, fancy artwork. And he goes, okay, hold on. He goes, just stop. And he goes, read the signature on this. So I stop, and I mean, these things were gigantic. Picasso. I'm like, oh, I think I heard of them. Okay, can we just go now?
That name sounds familiar.
So, yeah, I said, I've heard of that name. So it was Jerry Moss's house, A&M Records, Albert Moss. We were in Jerry Moss's house. I'm going, this is crazy. It's like, this is the kind of like houses that you go into. Yeah, Moss, Spielberg. So I got to work in all the, that crazy industry.
Sweet.
So,
Wow.
So came here and continued to do it, worked for a couple of companies, and then decided just to, go on my own. And so it's a good field to be in.
Very cool. Yeah. Very cool. Yeah, home entertainment. Especially, I guess, maybe during COVID, was that like a boom, a little bit of boom period?
Yeah, a little bit of a boom. Yeah, people staying home. But it's always, Super Bowl, Christmas time, everybody gets a new TV or, want to hang it. And they call me when it's not easy. If it's easy putting the TV on the thing and turning it on, no.
The Geeks Wide aren't really, they got to call you?
You got to go in the attic. We got to get a wire from here to there.
See, here we're back to the attic story now. This makes sense now, right?
Oh, yeah, Dean is at home in the attic.
Yeah, that's right.
Sure.
Yeah.
He likes it in there.
You got to go with the attic. In California, it's all underneath the crawl spaces. And, here in Florida, it's like, oh, my God, the attic is, 130 degrees.
Yeah, we don't have crawl spaces in basements here.
So, yeah, it's been a great job for me. Yeah.
Very cool. So the I think again there's a whole kind of crazy area here. Like I said, you've got your business, tying in with your music, venues like you perform with Jason Montero, and then you've got some of the other shows. And again, we were talking about a name earlier before when we were setting up was I don't know her husband's name, but somebody I work with, Jen. I mentioned right on the show, and I guess you guys perform with her, or how's that work?
Yeah, who was it?
This Jen Bond.
Oh, yeah, Pelletier. Paul. I think Paul Pelletier.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think her Paul Pelletier's wife is a Bond.
Okay.
Jody Bond. And I think that's where we're going with this. So,
yeah,
if it's there, if that's who I'm thinking of.
Okay.
Yeah, I've played with Paul. He's a great guitarist. Played with him. We had a band, Endless Summer, back several years ago. We did some fantastic shows with the boat company Marine Max. They had an Aquapalooza, and we used to go out in Stewart at the inlet, out of the sandbar, and play up. They would bring out a big yacht, and we would set the band up on the yacht. So we did several of those in the course of a couple of years. It was crazy.
Yeah,
fun.
Paul sent me some photos from there.
Yeah, it's amazing fun. And Paul can sing, Geddy Lee. He's got that high voice, and he's well known for his every riff of, let's say, Molly Hatchet or Southern rock. He plays, Greengrass and High Tide. He'll play that whole 5-minute lead, like note for note, and you go, okay, I know where I am because I'm listening to the record.
Mm-hmm.
And other than a great guitarist in that manner, his voice is one of a kind. So it's a pleasure to play with him.
Actually, Paul is responsible for dragging me back into performance in
Really?
the first place.
Yeah.
Because at the time I was teching for a living, and
Well, I remember that too because
Yeah.
we did a Drum Madness show
yeah,
where I brought out all of my drum stuff and hired you for the PA. And I'll tell you, I have never heard my drums thunder as much as that night.
that was a good.
He
PA.
brings this PA that's just like ginormous, and I was like, "Yeah, that's what I'm talking about."
Right on.
So
So I was telling the story the other day, and it was at your thing where were there vendors in there?
Yeah. My wife had set up, so we had some sponsors and little.
Yeah, there was
vendors.
vendors in there, and so as a tech, you go and you assess the available electricity, right? So I'm there, and then there wasn't enough, and so there's all these vendors setting up, and I'm like, all right. I went and spoke to every vendor. I'm like, listen, we have got a limited amount of electricity. We're all on the same circuit here,
Oh,
and so like you don't have any, you're not running any heating or cooling elements, right? And they're like, oh no, I'm just selling candles or whatever. And there was one vendor spot open right next to the front of house position where I was. And I'm like, all right, cool. I won't have to deal with any vendors. So I'm doing all the last minute stuff to get ready for the stage, and I come back to the front of house, and I put on the house music like that's the intro music for your show, and all of a sudden the PA goes black.
oh my God!
And I look over, and there's a vendor right next to me in the spot that I thought was empty, and she's got her finger on a microwave.
Oh no, microwave!
And I just
The
went over
kiss
to
of
her,
death.
and I'm like, give
Don't.
me one reason why I should let you live. This is not okay. I did not authorize that fucking thing. Get that out of here. You're not using that
Oh
all
my
night long.
God!
And the poor woman was just like, so yeah, I had to put the asshole hat on, and that she couldn't make any money because her whole business
no.
was warming up burritos.
Oh,
with the
sorry about that.
microwave.
That's all right.
No, but that's hilarious. Like the poor
We
thing,
don't need burritos. We need bass.
I had her quaking in her shoes.
Can we do it in between sets?
Well, I've been working. I'm a lot.
Actually,
I'm slightly more chill now.
I'm actually very hungry for a burrito now. Actually, that you brought that up. Actually.
Yeah, the poor woman. I just looked at her. And
Oh,
she
my
could
God.
feel me looking at her because she just went.
That's funny. Like the story, the different point of views from,
Oh,
even
yeah.
in one event,
It's how right. Yeah,
That was
I was just
fantastic.
trying to make money making burritos.
And let me say that this was a one-man drummer show, and it was great.
Well, we did have I had a little band that we did a few songs, but what it was a promotion for my drum book.
Mm.
So I came up and did some drum solos. I got the idea. Kind of Terry Bozzio was one that we saw him at the Palace, one man, and he played all these different drums, different setups, taikos, bells, and so I kind of had some stuff like that, but with a little bit less of a setup. But it was like just a preview of my drum book. So I had a big screen with some concepts of the book, and I did some drum solos, and then we had a little band with Adam, and I think I had Sean Tarver on guitar. We did a couple of Zeppelin things and a couple of originals. So it was kind of a unique, rounded show. A little music, little drums, a little education, and some vendors.
So totally. Let me pivot here. So have you heard of this event called Drum Review?
No.
So it's I'm plugging for a Drums and Rums episode here coming up. It's at the Kravis Center, September 7th, I think it is. It's a fully percussion drum show that's being put on. Different drummers, different things, and there's local drum corps, there's some jazz
wow.
drummer. Yeah, I'll have to get you more
Neat.
information. Yeah, so
That sounds neat.
yeah, so shit. I'm sorry. I'm drawing.
Does he do a little like history of drums?
I don't know. I don't know yet, but when I do tape, I'm gonna probably tape the episode here coming up in a few days, and
That sounds good.
yeah. So it's like so he reached out to me and he's like, "Hey, I'm a big fan of the show. You're local, blah blah blah.
Oh, very
Hey,
cool.
hey, I got tickets for you to come check it out." I said, "Well, let's do an episode. Let's promote and be part of all this stuff there." So again, a little bit cross promotion. We were talking earlier about the different podcast shows that we now have. Our show here, Riffs and Rhythms. The other show I have, Drums and Rums, it's more traditional podcast format. And then now we've expanded to Brad Brock's show, Jams and Cocktails, has joined the audio format podcast stream, now under, we're switching over to B3 podcast network there. So I did.
So what is B? What are the three Bs? I was confused on that.
3Bs. So bands, brands, and booze.
And booze.
Brands, bands, and booze.
I misheard him the first
Brands,
time. He
Yeah,
said
so he got excited. He thought he misheard the B. Which is okay. I mean,
Hey,
we could pivot.
it's an awesome logo. It looks great.
Yeah, yeah. So big shout out, so to our obligatory, big shout out there to Mr. Brad Brock there.
Brad, of course it looks good.
Of course, Brad's the man. So speaking of that, didn't he just do a new logo for you in the Blues Society?
Yeah, so this is a cool story. Last night before the Blues Jam, we're doing the board of directors meeting for the Treasure Coast Blues Society, and the president looks me straight in the eye for the second meeting in a row and asks me, "So what's the story on the logo for the Blues?" And I'm just like, "I'm so sorry, I totally dropped the ball. I got nothing." But as I'm saying that, my phone lights up, and it's Brad sending me this
Oh
logo.
my God! Just kidding. I got it handled.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. This just in. And he sends me this logo, and it just actually leaps off of the screen when you look
Just
at it.
in the nick of time.
Yeah, I'm like, that is perfect timing, you rock star. Look at this logo, man.
It is definitely, the bomb. It's no, I saw it before I came over there. I did a little pre-gaming at Mr. Brock's house there. So, so it is definitely a great logo there.
Yeah.
No offense to the little cool dog guy that you had before.
Cool Dog Guy apparently was done by a Mad Magazine illustrator, so it's
Okay.
The dog is
legit.
cool.
It is
That
the
nice,
trademark of the
nice
organization.
guitar.
So we're not getting rid of that. But that'll be on the front, and this will be the big one on the back.
Yeah. So I said to Brad when he showed it to me, I'm like, "Why is the guitar blue?" And he's like, "Really?" And I go, "I'm kidding."
Blues.
Love it. Love the big blue.
But yeah, no, that's I mean, I know it looks great on the fucking shirt, man.
Yeah, 30
Looks-
seconds later, Tracy had all the mock-ups done with the T-shirts and everything.
Oh my word! Fast. You guys are promoting geniuses.
Yes. Speaking of promote, great segue there. So Dean here. So part of the again, we're going to always come back because we're going to whore out our own festival because we can, right?
Did you just say festival?
Festival. It's like festivals.
Festival.
It's festival. It's like sweaty festival because that's
Festivals.
That's why we didn't have it in the summer of this festival. We had it in November when it shouldn't
Where's
be.
Alec Baldwin?
No one can resist my sweaty balls.
Festival. So
Sweaty festival.
Sweaty
fest.
festivals.
to Dean at the sweaty festival that we're going to have. So we do have
It's going to be the end of November. Nobody's going to sweat a drop, I promise.
No.
So we're going to have an opportunity for all of the bands and artists to have a merch table. So I don't know if you've got some of that going on, maybe some CDs or
Absolutely, yes.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. So an opportunity for y'all.
Yeah, have merch.
Yeah.
Sell it.
So, yep. So we'll cool.
I'm just about halfway done with the rock song album, and that'll be ready to go.
Cool.
Rock on.
Yeah, I actually I'm having a little trouble trying to package this thing because I have this group of songs that was written in Los Angeles about the time of OJ, the whole OJ trial, and there
Mid 90s, huh?
yeah, and there was a lot going on. There were riots and people getting drugged on the streets, kind of like San Francisco today.
Yeah, the price of white Broncos went through the floor.
Yeah, right. So it was kind of a crazy time out there, and I had these. It was a little bit of dark time.
Hey, Kevin, White Bronco Lives Matter.
Oh, gee.
White Bronco Flies Matter. But
That was
so I got this group of songs that kind of go with this little dark time that I had. But it's almost like it's a little, like a play in a way. They kind of all intertwine. So and then I've got other songs that completely separate with nothing to do
so
with that.
so like a
So-
a Queen's Reiki kind of thing.
Yeah, in a way, right. So I'm
Concept album.
yeah, it's a little bit of a
Yeah.
concept. So I'm trying to see how, do I make just two separate releases out of it, or do I just combine it, and do one,
Right.
or I don't know. I mean, nowadays, and I'm just getting hip to this, is people release like one song at a time, where, we always think, oh, I need a CD, and it's like they don't even exist anymore. So,
Right.
but I'm still kind of stuck on that, putting songs together.
Well, you can
in
do
the
both
order.
because you could take your concept songs and release them all together, and then the others release them as singles.
Yeah, so I'm going to see how I'm going to work that. But they're interesting. So
Yeah, that's cool.
looking forward to doing, debuting some of them at the festival.
Oh no,
Yeah,
kidding.
no, I like I said, we're totally excited. Like I said,
Debuting Dean Machine music at the Riffs and Rhythms Festival.
hey, so wait. So now that I'm starting to think about this here, and so we were talking about podcasting throughout the day here.
Never heard by human ears ever until
No.
yes.
So let me ask you this question though: if we're going to interview and do an in-between set podcast, you're going to be occupied at some point, setting up and getting your shit together on the stage.
Yeah, so it'll be one of the transitions. I will be absent from the podcast.
So I get to solo this and be more of a rhythms,
His dreams will come true. It'll be the Rhythms and Rhythms podcast.
we're going to be able to do a drum solo.
That's awesome, Dean. You'll
I like it. I like
you
it.
can sit in with me. At least he's halfway into the riffs.
There you go. Yeah, that's right.
100%.
Yes. Yeah, we still gonna ask some
Riffs
questions.
matter.
Yeah, we're gonna. So, oh my God, I just thought about it. I'm like, wait a minute. I said,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
So I know we haven't nailed down this whole set list yet, but timing, because I know we've been trying to accommodate everybody, helping everybody out with other gigs and shows. A few of our band, artists have other obligations that they're going to try to. So yeah, we've been working
it's
through.
taking
Yeah.
quite a bit of balancing,
Yeah.
but it's going to be one band an hour. So
Yeah.
it's going to be very tight because it's a 20-minute set change.
Mhm.
And so with the metal bands have very specific equipment that they have to get their sound, and that takes time to set up. And we're not going to give it to them. So I have been a stage manager for some fairly large affairs, and the way that I run my ship is very tight. And I don't care when you start. You don't have to start on time, but you will end on time. So like metal drummers, you got 20 minutes to set up, 40 minutes to play. You can spend all that time setting up your drums and then just leave. It don't matter to me.
Yep.
But the audience is going to be upset.
Yeah.
Fans who came to see you play are going to be really mad at you if you just
Yeah, if they know ahead of time, they can, maybe modify their stuff
Yeah.
to get
So,
it.
yeah.
Well, there's always ways to get around.
Yeah, like setting up, off to the side.
Yep.
We've
Right.
all done that.
Having a few people
Festival
help you bring stuff
style.
on stage.
As drummers,
Yeah.
we know, like, look, I'm going to set this up ahead of time and then carry it
Yeah,
right in.
Yeah. Put all my cymbals on my stands outside and
have it ready.
just
Yeah,
have
there are-
people run up to the stage and throw shit on the stage for you,
Yeah.
just like and then
Yes.
so
Yeah.
so that also includes putting drum miking up and as well too, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
miking the drum,
Okay.
like
All right.
everything. The thing that the professionals take all afternoon doing, you got 10 minutes because there's a 20-minute set change. The band before you's got 10 minutes to get off. You got 10 minutes to get set up.
Oh, yeah, it's only 10 minutes.
Yeah,
No pressure, Dean.
Get off the stage now.
no pressure.
Get to the chopper. All right, so so do we want to get to our song review here?
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's all right. So let's do this here. So again, while I get this set up here, Kevin, so go ahead and give a little preface here on our song that we're going to review here.
All right, so a couple of episodes ago, we had the Bryce Allyn Band here, and it was really cool to get a chance to get to know Bryce. I met him like in 1994 or 1992 or somewhere in the 90s, and it was the first time I ever got exposed to this kind of music, and I hadn't seen him since.
Wow.
And to get a chance to sit down and get to know this guy and hear his long, convoluted story, which at the moment is culminating in just an odd, totally off, like a chance, like meeting of a big time producer. This guy moved from L.A. to Jupiter Farms, needed to have something to do, so he built a little studio in his house.
Wow.
But a world class studio. and wanted to.
Peter Wolf, is it?
No,
Okay.
I don't know the guy's name, but if you say it, I'll probably go. Oh yeah, that's it. But
Go to Guanabanas this weekend.
yeah, Guanabanas. They're debuting the song live Saturday night at
They have a big party coming.
Oh, I like Guanabana.
Yeah, yeah.
Guanabanas or Guanabanas.
Yeah, sorry,
depending on what
Guanabanas.
country you're from. Yes.
Continue.
And we actually had I had a chance to buy Guanabana flavor ice cream the other day.
Oh.
That was interesting. I'm like, this is a bar. I can't eat that. I don't even know what a Guanabana is, but it is other than being a bar in Jupiter.
But yeah, so we're doing a review of the song. Again, if you watched the last episode where we talked to the guys, Chase and Bryce, about new music they have coming out, that they're going to release music and video at the same time, the same day. They're just going to, as they said, like kind of old school, kind of just blast it out
Hang
there.
it out. Like
They're going to have big party, so we're really looking for. Again, we're part of the scene. You know, we want to support everybody when we can, right? I know, as Bryce had mentioned, that opportunity. Whether again, you're always got busy gigs. And
I
so forth,
love
right?
going to see bands because
Right,
I never
yeah.
get to.
Yeah.
I'm always on stage
And
myself.
again, to hang out with our fellow band members, and again to show support. And I again, just before we go into this, so I guess Dean, right, is like when you see somebody who's a fellow musician shows up at your gig. Because doesn't it kind of like add a little bit more like that's fucking cool that they came out, got a chance, they took their day off or night off, and they came out and see me,
Exactly. Yeah, it's nice.
So all right, so here we go. So this is the song that, again, we couldn't really do this last time with Bryce and Chase because it wasn't quite ready for primetime release. But now that while you're watching this episode, the show has already been released for Guanabanas. Anyway, that word.
Guanabanas kind of sounds dirty.
Yeah, I know.
Guanabana.
Guanabana. Do.
Love the Muppets reference. And so here we go. So this is so it's already been released, this song, this video, and so forth. So here it is. This is the Bryce Allyn Band, Place in the Light. And then so Dean, here what we're doing, we're going to listen for whether it's the riff or the rhythm that makes this song. Mm-hmm. Okay, so since we're going to come, that's why I'm waiting to hold back the question, right? So here we go, Bryce Allyn Band. Again, this is filmed here in Jupiter. What's better?
Full screen it.
Full screen? Okay, so all right, hold on. So guys, all right, we're going to full screen it. You know, he sees this pretty girl sitting in the video starting off, so of course he wants full screen. Sure. So, Dean, it's okay to comment in this video here, okay? So, it's like a Mystery Science Theater 3000.
There was something going on right in that very beginning on the drums.
I used to think, I thought to know, so much to tell, but not so much for showing right. When I swear that I knew that it wouldn't be right, it was like to myself and I held it inside like I'm trying to. With a look that he knew with the guts that I get, so I lied to myself, the addiction it wins when I'm dying. Hold on, man. You see the memory burns when you're playing with fire because the lesson is learned. And when you're doing it right, you know you're taking your turn. When you're living your life, cause everybody gotta earn a place in the light. And so the memory burns when you're playing with fire because the lesson is learned. And when you're doing it right, you know you're taking your turn. When you're living your life, cause everybody gotta earn the place in the
So, I'm hearing a little bit of the rhythm aspect.
I'm already voting rhythm. Because it's not even with the lead vocal, it's not the melody, it's the rhythm.
Yeah, it's very rhythmic.
And the unique and 3 with the hi-hat, that's cool.
I used to think, I thought to know.
That's right there in Indian Town.
But not so much.
I love it.
Never heard of and 3 with the hi-hat.
Yeah, that's our boy Chase. Last guess.
We need to get this poor girl out of the middle of the road.
Dude, this is right by the shack here.
So I lie to myself, the addiction it wins when I'm dying.
PRS.
Hold on, man. You see the
Sponsored by Mayres.
because the lesson is learned when you're doing it right. You know you're taking your turn when you're living your life. Cause everybody gotta earn.
That gas station, I know that gas station. I buy beer at that gas station, right? This is a J-Town, right? What's he talking about?
That's a good quality gas station when your garbage cans actually match your color.
Definitely want to groove with this song.
Sorry, guys.
Groove.
To a group parking lot.
Playing with fire. Are you doing it right? Are you living your life? Is there a place in the line? You're playing with fire. Are you doing it right? Are you living your life? You know that memory burns. The memory burns. And then you're taking yours. You're gonna take your turn. You know that memory burns. The memory burns. And then you're taking yours. You're gonna take your turn. You see the memory burns when you're playing with fire because the lesson is learned. And when you're doing it right, you know you're taking your turn. When you're living your life, because everybody gotta earn a
So,
piece
you
of the
know,
light.
we talked about this last week with the guys, you know, Chase and Bryce about,
Nice.
dude, that's
Yeah, it's
Dude.
rhythm all the way. Rhythm all the way.
yeah. So we had listening to the episode and then going through now and those little nuances, right? There, I guess what I'm going at is I picked up on a little bit of the guitar thing. You know, it's kind of like nice, like there's different levels of all this stuff. I think the recording of it is great. The composition is great. I do agree that is, again, as we call it, white boy bouncing. You know, we're definitely the groove. It was definitely very groove, right? And you already said right off very quickly you were already saying rhythms.
I mean, what I'm hearing is.
So when I'm down, you know,
Everything's
so when I'm at Guanabanas on Saturday, you know, grooving and shaking my booty and you know and so forth and twerking.
I don't want to see you work. I really don't.
So Dean loves it.
The idea of that.
Dean loves it.
A little bit. I've just puked a little in my mouth. I'm sorry.
I'm trying to erase that image.
Yeah, well, let's look at the girl again so we can get.
Okay, yeah, so you can get
twerking out of our minds.
yeah. My dick went soft.
Oh my! Now
Now
keep
we've
that to himself.
now we've crossed the
that.
line.
Oh yeah, we want to go back to the girl. Okay, I get it. It's a guy thing. So all right, so Dean, what do you think about this song here?
I love the song. It is definitely very rhythmic,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
it definitely makes you want to get up and groove. It's nice. I love the drum sound is, not a very wide open, little, echoey. Sounds like a nice, it's just bright and airy. And there was a little something going on at first. It almost seemed like it was a little bit more reverby, and then it cleaned up a little as the song came in. I caught something. So there's some really cool production going on. But yeah, the band is grooving. They look great. The song is very catchy. I love it. I give it a 10.
So you're saying it's the rhythms then?
Yeah, it's the rhythm.
All right. So
What was my other choice?
riff? It's the name of the show, Dean. Come on, man. Did anybody give you the information before you start?
That is funny.
So the riff, the riff is
Yeah,
very,
I
the
know.
riff is very
Yeah.
rhythmic. So
Yes.
I guess it's
Usually, Dean, I'm outnumbered here on this show with, obviously because mostly
He's
it's guitar.
excited to have a
Yeah, I
drummer.
know. He's like, we need to have more drummers on the show so you don't feel so like have a complication in your about things.
I know he's been really down in the dumps about all these riffers
guitar
and-
players, yeah.
as
So,
guests.
Yeah, but yeah. So no, I agree. Right. So again, nothing to take away from Bryce and Mike. Mike's the lead guitar player from the band.
great.
It was just it's such a groovy song, right?
But the whole genre, like the
Oh,
reggae inspired,
It's like what did Bryce say? That he goes, they're not a reggae band, but they're
they are reggae inspired.
right?
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
You know,
It's nice. It's a
yeah,
little fresh.
very. I mean, again, I don't know if you have how well Bryce or
No, I don't.
yeah. So go
been
back and watch.
playing,
Go,
like, in the
hey,
areas
go
of-
back and watch the videos. Okay, the last episode. But he's been here in Jupiter for a long time. In the previous, almost about the same time you moved down here to Hope Sound.
Bryce predates that because I met him in the 90s.
Right. Well, but I had said as I moved to Jupiter in 2002, about the same time you moved to Hope Sound, right?
Mm-hmm.
So but they've been around. Box Elder.
I think I've heard that.
Okay, yeah,
I've heard that.
Yeah, so
That was Bryce's
yeah.
first band that got
yeah,
traction.
they got some big trash and B liminal. So he talked about some interesting stuff. He was very open and candid about a lot of stuff, his life and things and journey and so forth, which was definitely appreciate to be able to share that level of stuff that he's kind of gone through. So, look, again, Dean, I like I said, to me, I'm like fanboying, fangirling, whatever you want to call the gender. I'm really looking forward to the festival.
So wait.
Yes.
Now it's
Me too.
LGBTIQFB plus.
Fuck me. All right.
Fanboy.
Fanboy.
Yes,
Yes.
fanboy is a gender now, apparently.
Apparently.
I saw something that was like beer, guns, titties, LGB. I don't know what the Q was for. I forgot what the L was for, but it was someone said
I
that.
like that.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
guns, beer, titties. and-
Everything. Yeah.
And I
You can say titties on this show.
Yeah. So it was something like that. You got to look it up.
All
So
right.
someone had. It was like, oh, we got to get a T-shirt of that. It was somebody from Florida, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
I support the ABC.
No, I guess it was.
EFG.
Now that I think about it, it was probably liberty, guns, beer, titties, and whatever else.
Okay. Yeah.
What starts with Q that anybody
I don't
would
know.
want?
But
Well,
it was
I
something
think we
like
do
that.
know. So anyway, so I'm really looking forward to watching all our guests. That's the part as I'm fanboying is like
It's gonna be
really-
great.
really cool to be all of our guests part of our music festival.
Yeah, the area really needs this type of event
Yeah,
to really gather all these original artists together. And I'm sure everyone, if they're like me, are super happy that something like this is going to start coming up, and it can hopefully be a regular event.
So, as a music fan on the Treasure Coast, you can come and see never heard before original music.
Yeah, it's going to be
from
refreshing. Yeah.
Local bands. It's going to be amazing.
And I bet you a lot of people don't even realize, there's a couple of places like, Guanabana's, the blues, you go to the blue, Terra
Terra
Firmata.
Firmata.
There's a lot of groups like that, but it's really the not the norm. That's only 2 or 3. Other than the fact, some other bigger event places, of course, when you go to see some brand name, but
right.
Local, there's a lot more local originality that people are unaware of.
Yeah, there is a giant gap between having a band in your apartment studio, or being a cover band that is an original band that plays covers just so that they can be a band.
Yeah.
And then performing as an original artist. There is a giant gap there.
Yeah. So this
That
is
shouldn't exist.
no, and that's why this is great that
So
you guys are filling that. And
As a Florida-based independent original artist, I am very interested in paving the way for others like myself, and that's
Excellent.
what we're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah. So again, I go back to, I think when the day of happens, and all the other stuff, whether it's little things, logistical stuff, putting on this festival, right? I said it again, didn't I? I did say it
gonna get
again.
Shreddy.
Festival. Yeah, I'm getting
Be
excited.
Shreddy.
I think you were going to say show, and
Yeah,
then you went
I should show. Yeah, right. Again, this is
Love
gonna.
Shveddy, Paul.
But I mean-
we got to get you a shirt for that day. It says,
Showfest.
"I'm Shveddy."
a show fest.
SHVETY.
Our merch side of our stuff is going to be fucking outrageous.
I'm a shameless marketer. Paul is Shveddy.
Thank you. It's going to be really cool. Just take a step back and
Yes.
say, watch all these artists. Again, and I know some guys. You're right, like we said earlier, some the artists have to other gigs, but you all don't get a chance to see each other and support, etc.
Yeah, and it's
You know?
great that it's not, like a benefit for someone that has passed, because usually that's when we all get
Yeah.
together,
Right?
and it's like you're trying to have fun, but yet, it's
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 a
very
little down-
emotional
yeah.
because
That's what we'll do with some of that space at the far end of the vendor area is that we'll create a musician zone where we can all just hang out.
Yeah, so it's really good that this is, just an event for that reason. Everybody can get together without the, the depressing part of, being
Yeah.
somebody's,
Yeah.
benefit,
Right, right.
Yeah.
And that's, like I said, that's the only time we usually all get together. It's like, hey, everything's great, but
Yeah.
the reason why we're here is not so great,
Yeah. I know, and you guys know obviously him better than I do, but I know, like you mentioned, was a lot of these festivals and memorials and et cetera. It's like, I'm sure like somebody like Scotty, right? That'd be somebody.
That was the very
was the last time we did it.
one. So
right. So I mean, he'd be great. Again, everyone's always loved Scott.
He'd have been on the podcast.
Oh.
He'd have been-
yeah,
He'd
yeah.
have been performing.
before that. So yeah. So
Scott Bench
yeah.
Project.
So those you're watching, that is a big hole in our community, a big hole in
September
our heart.
9th.
Yeah. So
September 9th, I believe it's September 9th, will be the memorial show for him at Hop Life,
okay, there you go. All right.
in which those of us who know him and loved him
Yeah.
will
So
be able to perform and do all that.
yeah, I'll
So-
be there. I'll definitely be there.
all right. So let's
Great.
not be too down here. So let's hear some debauchery stories from Tales on the Road, Dean.
Oh, more Tales on the Road.
Yeah, Tales on the Road here. So
Stuff you can talk about and still stay
Okay.
married.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, no, it's good.
yeah. Bryce,
I'm not gonna write a book.
My third wife. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a new song that I'm working on, and it's called "Watching Over Me." I always had this feeling after a few of these stories, I started thinking, well, there's got to be something watching over me, because there's been so many times. So I was thinking back, and there was when the bands would tour in the 80s, we would do cover bands, but we would still tour, and you would play from a Wednesday night to a Saturday night or something like that, Tuesday. You had multiple nights at one club, and it was a whole big circuit, and the places would have, a band house or an apartment that you'd stayed at. So we're in Vermont, where everything's made out of wood, these old buildings, just ancient wood floors, and it was a great place. These people were fantastic. So up above the club is the band area, and it's just, beds lined up in big giant room. And I wake up. Oh, so it's, Vermont, it's freezing cold. We were there on the holidays. They loved us Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. We were up there all the time. So it's cold, freezing cold, snow up to here. And we got one of those space heaters with the kerosene that you fill in, and it glows hot. So I wake up the next morning and I'm like, what is all this black stuff on my pillow? And I'm looking around like, what's this? And they go, you don't know? And I'm like, no. And I wish I could sleep like that now, But they said, oh no, the thing ignited and kind of started flaming up. So luckily someone was awake. They couldn't sleep, the bass player and one of the road crew. And they were like quick thinkers, and they grabbed a broom or something and pushed it past me to get it out of the door and threw it off the railing into the snow. And it would have ignited, this whole place would have went up, and we would have all been dead if everyone was sleeping.
Whoa.
And I was like, what? All that happened? And I'm like right here. So I'm like, okay, thank God, right?
Right.
And then there was, we're also driving to another gig. This is a completely different band, like, several years later, driving on the highway in a VW Bug. And the venue, I guess, had sound and lights, or the truck was ahead of us or something with the drums in it. And this lady decides, this little old lady, like 80 years old, she decides she's going to turn around on, like, this is like Route 95, let's say, multi-lane highway. And you know how they have the openings in the middle where, like, the state police turn around. So evidently she sees this opening, and she's like, well, I need to turn around. So she's coming 90 degrees at us, and we see cars like swerving. We're like, what is going on? And then we look, and here she is right, and I'm sitting in the passenger seat. But with this VW Bug, we were so packed in with guitars and bass amps and bags that we were so tight. And she came and hit us, and we ended up hitting that guardrail that went up, and just stopped. And people were like, we were dazed. And there was people breaking the door open. We're like, what's going on? And we got out of that I'm like, you okay? You okay? It's like, yeah, I don't even have a scratch on me. And I was like, all right, so there's another one. And then it was just, another time coming from Vermont, waking up and the car is spinning on an ice-covered road.
Wait, you're on the road and you wake up spinning.
No, I mean, I'm in the car in the back seat sleeping, and I wake up.
In the back seats, not in the driver's seat.
No,
sleeping.
so,
Okay.
so my buddy's driving. And
I've actually done that.
yeah, right. I mean, just time. So basically, time after time, there was like many more. And I'm going, holy cow, this is crazy. So this is definitely somebody or something watching over me.
Oh yeah.
So
for
I
sure.
started penning this little song about all these crazy road stories, and that's one of the new ones that are gonna.
You've literally
Oh.
got a stories from the road song.
Yeah, stories from the road song.
He's gonna play. He's gonna play it.
And you're going to play that at the Riffs and Rhythms
Yep,
Festival.
yeah, exactly. So we're
damn.
in the studio now, working on it,
All right.
And you have your own studio.
and I have my own
It
studio.
is for hire, as from what I understand.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So what is the name of your
Called
studio?
Sound Shaper Studio.
Okay.
It's in Palm
Sound
City.
Shaper.
Okay.
I'm getting the visual of like
There's the logo is like this,
some
hooded.
sound and like a carpenter going.
No, it's more like a hooded wizard, and he's got this ball. It's all like lit up.
Just one ball?
Electric. Yeah, one giant like a glass
Lance
ball with all
Armstrong.
electric. That's like a wizard ball.
Okay, well that makes it way better.
Yeah, not an Amp Armstrong.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, tube.
He'll never look at his logo. again. Same.
Yes. Oh, fuck. We need to change our logo.
Is there a bicycle?
What's
in the
that movie,
background?
Dodgeball?
Yes.
It's like, I'm sure you have your reasons for not going into the match. Like I remember when I had, testicular cancer, not once, but twice. And I managed to, get through the race and win the Tour de France like 3 times. And the guy's sitting there like, oh, shit, I don't have a good reason at all. But I'm sure you have your reasons.
Yeah.
And little did they know later that was all bullshit, right? Lance Armstrong. So that's a crazy story. Like, yeah, touring and
just
moving.
all the- yeah.
So it's like, so some of my, day job kind of stuff we always talk about. Part of the job is, being safe is a lot of windshield time, right? That's a lot of stuff. And like you guys touring, and that's a whole dangerous part of it, right?
Yeah, 10 hours to, driving here,
Yeah.
8 hours.
Right.
And then, 45 minutes to set up and a couple hours at night. And then you're back on it again.
Right, yeah, because when you're telling this story about the kerosene heater, I was thinking, oh, shit, you guys going to have a story about like a great white story, burning a club down?
Yeah, that was in Rhode Island where I'm from. And
Yeah?
I know some people that were there.
Wow. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
And he just passed away, right? Jack White?
Oh, yeah, I just saw that.
Yeah.
One of my friends was on a tech crew, and he was, getting hired out, working, like a local guy. Hey, bring in some tech crew, roadies to come in. So he was there, and there was several people I know. It was crazy. So
That is crazy. Yeah, that was great.
That
That's a crazy
stuff
story.
happens.
Yeah, the burn. So, so real quick, also, Dean, before we wrap up here, also is do you got another MVP here you want to shout out, recognize, part of your stuff?
Let's see. So we did my cousin last week, and I would say, oh my word, wow. Honestly, my biggest fan, believe it or not, is my wife now.
Okay,
Candace.
yeah.
She, behind every good musician, there's a good musician wife. So I'll put a shout out to Candace.
All right, nice.
And,
Okay.
she makes things happen for me.
She'll let you do your thing.
She lets me do my thing, and she's right there behind me, kicking my ass if I'm not doing my thing.
And I'm sure, because my wife is very much the same way. As, she would probably cut a bitch, right? So I'm sure, I'm sorry, right? Well, no, she's very protective. Well, you've met her, right? So, I'm sure your wife is very much like you're in your corner, right? That's
Oh, yeah.
my
Oh,
point.
yeah.
My point
Yeah.
is that, right?
Yeah, biggest fan.
Yeah, cool, very cool.
Rock on.
Yeah,
We all have awesome ladies.
I know we do. Right, that's right. So,
Yeah, I've got a couple songs about. One particular a song about her coming up too in this.
oh,
New
Oh,
album.
you have a
Oh.
Candace song.
Yeah.
Oh my.
it's not.
I
It's not.
can't wait
It's,
to
it's
hear
not a
that.
Peter Chris like.
No, best. No.
Yeah.
No, it's actually called. Well, she had this. When we first met. She had this really cool Corvette. It's like a 76 or 77 Corvette with a long nose. It was all white, and she would always wear white. All these white, crazy, cool outfits. And so we got together. She was going to re-register it. So I was like, oh, we got to come up with like a cool plate. She had like some other regular generic plate. So we were like, you got to call this thing like the white fun vet. But she's from Boston. So everything was like, white effing. Like, you got to call this thing the white effing vet, right? So we said joke around. And so it was like, well, how could we do that on a license plate? So her license plate was literally WHFNVET, like white effing vet. So that's the name of the song, is White Effing Vet.
Oh, nice.
But we figured, we had to come up with a name just in case the people at the DMV said, well, you can't put that on a plate. It's like, no, it means white fun vet. So that was.
Is this
really-
Florida?
No, this was
this is-
California.
Oh, California.
This was California.
I might know somebody
So
who can help you with that.
So we figured, you know what? Let's just call it the white fun vet as far as they
There
know.
you go. Yeah, right.
And then really it was the white effing vet in her home language.
Right? So I
Oh.
didn't realize she was from that area.
Yeah, she's from
So like
outside
everything's
Boston.
wicked cool.
Oh, wicked cool.
Oh.
Effing
A wicked piss.
wicked pisser. for
Well,
sure.
we speaking of the fucking connotation. So we do have maybe next episodes we have coming up. We have another brand we were going to probably talk a little bit more about. Was
possibly the coolest name for a liquor.
should we say it now or tease it?
We should say it now because it's way too cool.
All right, so big shout out there to a new brand that's just come to Florida, come to West Palm. The brand is called they go by because of obvious reasons. Their name is GF Brands. And the name of the brand is Good Fucking Brands.
There
They
you
have
go.
a good fucking vodka, good fucking bourbon, good fucking tequila, good fucking wines, good fucking bubbles.
There you
So
go.
yeah, so I mean everyone's already
Good
clamoring.
fucking. What's a burr bubble?
Burr bubble. That's me. So again,
We got good fucking burr bubbles in here. Like,
we ha-
who's
so-
gonna drink a burr bubble?
so we have people that are really excited about the music festival. Part of our spirit stuff that we're gonna have there. They're excited about the brand alone, just good fucking whatever. So
Good fuck. And I have drank that good fucking whiskey, and it
Was it good?
It was good fucking whiskey.
yes.
GFN, GFW.
Yeah,
That's right, yeah, so-
GFW.
yes. So we're so
Oh, we gotta get one of those little oval stickers that says GFW on it, like
GFW.
OBX and all that.
oh that I like that.
That's
Yeah,
cool,
they
yeah.
GFW, right? Yeah,
Can't go wrong with
yes.
3 letters.
that's right.
Yeah.
Good fucking Kevin. Anyway, so yeah, so check out
KMB.
those, yeah.
Kevin McLaughlin. Band.
Yeah, let's go with KMB.
Yeah.
Or how about GFL?
GFM.
Good
Yeah.
fucking
KFB.
luck
Yeah, good.
with that.
KFB, we use the GFM.
Yes, there we go. Thank you.
Somebody said KFC.
It's almost like we're in the military. All of a sudden, we're using 3-letter abbreviations.
Did somebody say KFC? I can
KFC.
go for some
Yeah,
KFC right now.
KFC. We got some GFW on the KFC.
That's right. Yeah. So we have some good fucking fried chicken coming up here next in the podcast. So yeah. So maybe next week we'll talk about next podcast. We'll talk
I
about
think what we need is a
yeah.
good fucking cue card girl because Paul clearly can't speak.
No, but you are working on an upcoming few guests here, possibly. Yes. Well, you told me the other
What
day.
am I talking about?
A few people that are part of the Twisted Tiki, Sneaky Tiki.
Oh,
Well, okay, don't.
yeah. We're okay. We've got a potentially awesome thing that we're not going to tell you about. So there you go.
Got to tune in.
Yeah, tune in. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that was
Tune in next week.
that was yeah. That's great.
I have a feeling those episodes may have definitely a whole lot of Patreon stuff.
No
going
doubt,
on.
everybody's on the edge of their seat about the thing that they'd have
That's
no
right,
idea
yeah.
what we're talking about.
Which I've already told Kevin is like I think these guests here possibly could be the next podcast to join the podcast network.
Absolutely, it could be enough to Heatherize you.
Yeah. So anyway, Heatherway.
Oh, that wasn't a leak.
No, whoopsie. All right, so Dean, so as we wrap up here, so I appreciate this has been a really cool hang. I got a chance. So we're definitely gonna set up a whole episode here about for me and Drums and Rums and you, right?
Sounds
Sit
good.
down and
Yeah, let's do it.
talk more drum stuff, right? A little bit more deeper into those kinds of things. This is really cool hang, right? I mean, what
It
you
is.
think? What
This
you
is a
think?
great little hang.
Yeah. So again, like I said, it's us hanging out. It's a coffee talk, right? We're talking.
Paul's getting all emotional. He's got his drummer in the room.
I know. I'm really
You're so
excited about
cute.
this stuff, man. Yeah. Hey, do you want me to show Do you want me to show the text message from last night?
Tom
about
talk.
between you, me, and Brad about loving each other and good friends.
No, because yours was insanely verbose.
I don't even know what the hell I said.
No. In order to save you from embarrassment, we should not share that with anyone.
It's in the archives.
Anyway, so Dean, what do you got coming up here? With these any upcoming shows here post? Let me look at my notes here. Like mid-September coming up here.
Well, most likely in the pocket. Well, there's a private birthday party or something coming up.
Okay.
But we're back at the Manatee Pocket between Club Restaurant Mancha and the Two Georges there, right on the water, and probably a Taco Tiki coming up in the next in September.
Okay.
Salerno and Jensen Beach.
Yeah, the Pocket, and then Jensen Beach will be with Jason Montero and the Bad Habits. It's a great little band. We only
Jason
get
totally
together.
rocks.
We only get together just once a month with the Bad Habits, and it's Jason Montero. That's 4-piece. Jason Montero, Mike Babbitt. They usually play a lot.
Is this
solo.
Mike? Is this Mikey B?
Yeah, Mikey B.
All right. So that's what that somehow Jen's
All right.
involved. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, that Jen.
That Jen.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Drummer Jen.
There you go.
Oh yeah. Well, so when we have also a little side project called Tricksters, and that's another once a month. Now we just signed up for the next year at Two Georges or Georges 2, whatever they call it, and usually a Friday night, like the second Friday. So a little side project, the Tricksters, and the reason why we kind of call it the Tricksters is I switch back a little bit. Jen jumps on the drums. And although she had a little wrist problem the last few months, so we switch around and really switch it up and do a lot of different styles. Anything from Mikey B does his Johnny Cash, he'll do the Who, we'll do a little bit of Jethro Tull. We got a great keyboard player that comes down from Orlando and really rips it up. I mean, it sounds like Ian Anderson on the flute, but he's doing it all on his keyboard. So
Be careful. Kevin might try
That's
to
fun.
steal him away.
yeah, it's
I got a great keyboard player. I'm good with that.
it's good. So that's usually like I said, the Pocket or
Okay.
is coming up soon. So.
Yeah. So I work real quickly, not getting into details, but so I do work with Jen. That's why I'm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know because there was a few
yeah.
Jens that I know, but
Yeah.
so yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
she's a real deal.
Yeah. No. Yeah. So, well, you know her history with like the band back in the.
Oh yeah,
in
regular
the day.
MTV artist, slamming drummer.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
She played drums on MTV.
yeah, I forget what the name of her band was.
Like schoolgirls or something.
Yeah, it was
like,
some like crazy Catholic
Cat
girls
school,
or
yeah.
schoolgirl band. Yeah, they had.
So Kevin, I've been trying to get her on the Drums and Rums podcast forever.
So we have a drummer that played on national television with a plaid skirt on.
Well, I don't know. Maybe more like the
Maybe.
schoolgirl, like white top.
Yeah.
Or
Pretty
whatever
Spears-
it was.
No
Britney
doubt there
Spears
was a snare strategically played.
I like how Kevin's like very focused on this whole like.
Yeah, it was an outfit girl
He's
band.
picking
for
up.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Cool. That's
yeah,
cool.
and then I mean they toured around all
Yeah,
over the place.
you're right. Yeah.
So,
So we'll try to get them on the show. Yeah.
yeah, and
But-
then-
but-
it will be more in your genre. Like we've had so many riffers in here. I can see like you're literally glowing. We got a rhythmer in here. I like this
yeah,
new
so
vibe
with-
you got going
with
on.
both Jen and I switching off on drums.
Yeah, that's
It-
pretty.
it's a lot of fun.
So typically Paul is totally out.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Gunned,
great.
and he's on the defensive.
Yeah, man, I can't wait till she gets back back in the saddle. Let's say behind the drums.
Yeah.
Paul
Yeah.
is so excited that we've got a drummer in the room.
I see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I've just been trying to get her on the other show for a while. That's why.
Yeah, very good.
Drums and Rums.
Yeah,
So
that'd be-
yeah.
Is it?
so, yeah.
Is it?
That'd be good.
Well,
But she actually reached out to me about the festival, about being a part of it, involved, and et cetera. Right.
Oh,
I'm like, well, we kind of already got some set. If you want to be involved, and anyway, so we're not.
We're going to do more.
Yes.
So all of you
Yes.
original
Settle.
Florida bands who haven't played on the inaugural Riffs and Rhythms Festival,
Right.
have no fear,
Right.
because there will be more.
it's only the beginning. Yep.
So I think we're at that point. I'm not trying to jump ahead here. We've got to get through our first show first. But I mean,
You have
again,
to attend and buy a ticket to the
Yes.
first one, or else we're not going to let you play the next
look.
one.
If you are a musician who wants to be part of this and are have to get wait to the next slot opening,
Yeah, come support this one.
come support this one, because I think there's so much now groundswell about this that we may do one in the spring. Okay, because
My vote was once a year. He's wanting to do it twice a year.
Yeah.
So I think there's so many musicians who are interested. But again, guys, you want to come out and play your original music, you have to support. This is a full circle kind of thing, right? We're all helping support each other.
You can't expect anyone to come and see you if you never come to see anybody.
Right. Because this is tougher than playing some open mic night at a local bar, et cetera, playing cover music. So
Yeah.
this is a real deal here. So this is the opportunity to bring your crowd to hear, listen to your music, that you perform original music, and so forth. So if November's show,
If
really,
we do well, we'll do it twice a year.
yes.
Yeah.
Let alone the fact that we also have the Rising Star music event here in Arcadia as well too.
Absolutely,
Right.
and that's going to bridge the gap between all of the Riffs and Rhythms festivals.
Exactly. So, all right. So, holy cow, this has been a great show, man.
We are stomping a hole in the empire of Florida original music.
Taking over the world.
That's right. No, we're taking over Florida.
Okay, Florida.
The world will be next.
Yes, like Thanos.
What are we doing tonight, Pinky? The same thing we do every night.
We go to the ale house after we tape this episode. I'm hungry, actually. Let's go. Let's wrap this up because I'm actually hungry. Let's go.
All right. Well, hey, everybody. I am the Kevin McLaughlin, and this has been the Riffs and
Rhythms Podcast. I'm Paul Robertson, and this has been an awesome show here, hanging out with drums. Finally on the show here with Dean Lopes there. Go check him out. Check all his stuff out there. Check him out at the Rhythms Festival coming up here. So, and also
say that again. Riffs.
no, there's
and
way too many R's for me to say that again.
Rhythms.
Yeah.
That Knox and Dunn is good because he can't even say riffs and rhythms anymore.
Really.
Anyway, so big shout out there. Thank you, Kevin, for recognizing it. It's a big shout out there to Knox and Dunn, Chris. Here our homeboy, here local guy who's our title sponsor here for Rhythm Fest.
And your other one. The other one too, Stolock.
Hold on, real. I'm gonna set some shit straight right now. When I approached Kevin about this show, it was supposed to be Rhythms and Riffs Fest, okay? So, again, trying to say Riffs and Rhythms Fest is actually a lot harder. He told me, he goes, no, Riffs and Rhythms Fest, because it rolls off the tongue easier. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't, okay? He just, because he's the riff guy, so of course he's going to say Riff Fest first.
Knox and Dunn.
Clearly, Knox and Dunn will
Knocks you off your-
erase your
knocks
ability
you off
to
your-
use.
Knox and Dunn rocks.
Knox and Dunn, the first effect on a drummer is that you can no longer say the letter F.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Let's finish on that, okay? There you go. So cheers,
It knocks you-
motherfucker. Yeah.
It's gonna knock you right on your dung.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in this episode here. We had a great time. Hopefully you as well. There.